Hey, how's it going, guys? Today we're taking a look at a couple of holsters from Tenicor. What we have here is the Sagax Lux and the Certum Lux. Before I go further, just to let you guys know, these are both the first generation of these holsters. Currently, Tenicor is on their second generation with a few improvements that I'm going to talk about later on. So let's get started. Both of these are purpose-driven holsters meant for a Glock 19 with a compact weapon-mounted light. I just happen to have a blue gun here with a Surefire XC1B. Fits great in the Certum Lux and fits great in the Sagax Lux. And I also happen to have a blue gun with a Streamlight TLR7A. Works well in the Sagax Lux and also in the Certum Lux. And in addition to that, both these holsters have the ability to holster a gun without the light on it. No wiggle on the Certum Lux, and works just fine in the Sagax Lux. So why do I like these holsters? First of all, they're future-proof. I was getting really tired of every time a new weapon-mounted light came out, I'd have to buy a new holster. So if you buy either one of these, as long as the light does not protrude past the end of the muzzle or below the line of the trigger guard, you'll be able to use it with either one of these holsters, which is great. You just buy one and then you're good to go, right? Now, taking a closer look, here we have the Sagax Lux. You have two discrete carry concepts clips. I really like these clips because one, they're metal. Two, they have better retention than the standard plastic clips that you see. And then three, if you look here, there's this little lip at the bottom that grabs the bottom of your belt to keep the holster from coming out. You have an adjustable hole pattern here to adjust for ride height. Both holsters here have adjustable retention with these two screws to adjust for the amount of hold on the gun while it's in the holster. And they also comes with this camming bar. Both will ship with three sizes of the camming bar. I have medium on both of them, but here we have the small and the large next to it. And you're looking at about a difference about 1/8 of an inch between the different sizes. Now, with the gun in the holster, imagine you're looking down at your belt line with your holster on your belt. The camming bar, what it does is it presses up against the belt and on a horizontal axis helps press the butt of the gun into your body. Sagax Lux also comes with an integrated molded wedge as a part of its kind of form factor. It slopes in two directions, one towards the camming bar, so it further helps with that horizontal tilt of the butt of the gun in your body. But it also slopes down, and what that does is it helps tilt on a vertical plane, tilt the gun into your body vertically like this way as well. Here I have my training gun, which is a Glock 19, and I recently installed this CAGWorks extended slide release. One thing I noticed though is as soon as I put this on, there were a lot of holsters I couldn't use this with because this interfered with the sweat guard on most holsters. On the Sagax Lux, however, if I put this in, you're going to run into a little bit of resistance here on this Kydex, but if you press past this, you can holster this just fine. On the newer generation of the Sagax Lux, there's a little bit of a blocking area, so you're not going to have any problems. But even on the first generation, you can holster it. However, because of this resistance right here, it acts sort of like the ball detent on a pocket knife, so it does add a little bit of extra force that you're going to have to exert in order to draw it. But as you can see here, it's no real big deal. And if this is on your belt line, if you're doing like a fast draw from a shot timer, you're really not going to see that big of a difference. But if it still bothers you, if you have the first generation, you can just kind of cut this area here and just leave a channel open. Taking a look at the Certum Lux, this is made to be worn either appendix like the Sagax Lux, or it can be worn strong side inside the waistband. So same thing, you have the two discrete carry concepts clips, adjustable retention, and the camming bar, but you also have the addition of these three holes. So if you imagine, you could actually put, say, two snap loops at the top right here, or use this top hole, and then you can hang it and get that traditional 45-degree angle on behind the hip holster, right? Certum Lux doesn't have a pre-molded wedge, so as a result, if I try to holster this gun right here, the slide release actually ends up pushing up against the sweat guard of the holster, and if you were to wear this, this would actually tilt the gun out. So if you have the first generation, you'll probably have to cut this out in order to accommodate for that. Now again, the newer generation, the Certum Lux, doesn't have this depression right here. This is actually one big kind of like open area. So it's like just like a big square, so you can actually insert and holster your gun without this kind of pressing out area. Both holsters are also cut to accommodate an RMR. So just give you a look right here. You have this little bit of extra space, and it goes all the way up till breech face of the barrel. So if you have something like, say, a Trijicon SRO, which protrudes a little bit, you're not going to have any problems right here. So at the end of the day, which of these holsters do I like better? I like both of them, and honestly though, I've worn both of these for like a couple of days around the house just doing chores. For me, for my body type, I actually think I like the Certum Lux a little bit better, just because I don't need as much of a wedge in the back here. So I'll probably keep this one and run it through classes, and then give this one to a friend. Since this is a first generation, there's a couple of modifications I'm going to have to do. First of all, I'm going to have to probably cut down the sweat guard to accommodate for the slide release on my gun. The next thing I'll probably have to do is I'm probably going to stick a 2-inch strip of Velcro and add this little Dr. Scholl's insole here to create kind of like a little mini wedge. It's a little trick I learned from watching a video from Melody Lauer, aka Lima Tunes. Great trick. So if you don't need as big of a wedge as on the Sagax Lux, this is one thing you can do. Another thing I'm probably going to do is hollow out this area right here for the magazine release. I like being able to actuate the magazine release in order to eject the magazine while the gun is still in the holster. It's just because some of the ranges and classes I go to, some people freak out if you have to draw your gun in order to eject the magazine. So it just helps for administrative loading and unloading. The last thing I did is I swapped out the traditional clips that come on both of these holsters for another style of discrete carry concept clip. This is the Super Shorty. If I were to line up the holes, you'll see here you have about a 1/2 inch of difference in terms of ride height. Now with the stock clips that come with both of these holsters, the holster is going to ride more in the pants, so it's a little bit more comfortable. I swapped it out for this just because I want more of the gun to sit above the waistline so that I have a little bit more space when I'm grabbing at it to draw the gun. But with the second generation of both the Sagax Lux and the Certum Lux, the hole pattern is a little bit wider, so you have more variation in terms of ride height, so you won't need to swap out the clips like I have to do with this first generation. So that's just a quick look at the Sagax Lux and the Certum Lux. All in all, great holsters. Tenicor's had great customer service. They've been really quick to answer all my questions. The shipping was super fast. I only had to wait a couple of days. And both of these holsters come with a lifetime warranty. Everyone I talked to who's used these holsters in classes has raved about them, which is why I bought these two to try out for myself. And I just recommend you check it out. So yeah, that's a quick look at both of these. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a great day. Thanks, guys. Bye.